good chances, and if you're taking chances forward, some of those are going to go in. So he's a dangerous little player, I think.
Like you said last time we got to chat, seems like ages ago. What's training been like and the spirit of the squad in the interim?
Hardy, yeah, they, there's a good spirit about them, and I'm really enjoying the way these guys get after each other, and I think that they want to make a run now, so today will be a test in that.
And a really good point raised right there by Dan Berkey about making a run. Not only do they take on Northwest today for a chance to move into second place by themselves, but they'll follow that up immediately with a Wednesday game here against Corbin, which is still not lost a game in conference play, on top of the league as we open play today. So a couple big challenges, but one at a time, as the Cavs with a deep throw in here in the opening moments. Javidza trying to cross it up top, and it's poked away by the Northwest defense. Cavs in the white today with navy trim. The Eagles in blue with fluorescent green numerals. Northwest very good closed, controlled passing here early on. Loga releasing Max Samuelson across the face of the goal. And Scott Gross on top of that one for the Cavaliers. We take a look at the matchups here again. As we said, the Cavs losing 3-2 originally to Northwest back on September 17th. Guerrero with 2 goals and an assist in that game, and he starts on the bench here for Northwest. Cavaliers getting goals from Michael Chamberlain and Quinn Sincer. And Chamberlain starting on the bench as well, as Dan Berkey keeping some players possibly in reserve as well. Guerrero not starting, the guy we talked about there at the end for Northwest. Lovely sliding tackle right along the sideline there by Ben Culpin. Loga under some early pressure will give to Hunter Maddock. Samuelson to Nathan Furtado. Back again to Loga, who's got some room here in the middle of the park early on. A couple of his carries, he's had space to be able to move. Gross waiting to get under this free kick, allowing his team to move down the field. On the indirect, headed further along by Culpin. Sincer back towards Green, and he'll punch it deep into the box where Joe Galbraith will settle underneath it for Northwest. Galbraith, a senior from Abbotsford, BC, has played every minute in goal for Northwest this year. .789 save percentage, a 1.35 goals against average. The Eagles do yield a high number of shots, 157 so far through 12 games, better than 13 shots a game. This one played back towards Galbraith, who fumbles with it for a second, but is able to knock it wide to Ryan Gamache. His attempt down the sideline deflecting off a Cavalier body, and it'll be shielded into touch there by Do-hee Kim. And a throw in for Northwest. Back to Green in the defense. And a throw for the Eagles far side, deflected away. Cavalier defense will hop on that, play it back toward Gross. Green, all sorts of time again. He'll just walk it towards the midfield line, trying to release long, and that one goes to the head of Brendan Wheeler for Northwest. Furtado's turn, and an injured Cavalier out near midfield. Referee not seeing it yet. Kim with a run here. And it's Culpin. He's up now for the Cavs, hobbling a little bit, but starting to jog back into position. However, the back post free now without the coverage. It'll go wide to Edgar Esquivel and be taken over the end line by the Cavalier defense, and a corner kick for Northwest. Kim will now slowly jog out to tee up the ball on the corner. They'll ask for space. Instead, just take it, and Kim pulls it to the top. Adam Loga there. Headed away. Eagles will punch it back out towards the midfield stripe. Sam Carmichael getting head on it, and Carmichael on the ball now, trying to release, and puts that well in behind Javidza, or behind Dansu, excuse me. Ball settled here by Sensor, just kind of calls everybody off it, but his clearance pass is intercepted. Nice return, though, by Haman, and the Cavs able to get it over the midfield stripe, but no further, where Tim Filion steps in for Northwest. Knocks it into touch, and the Cavs will have a throw in there. Dansu trying to get some coverage. It's poked away from him by Brendan Wheeler and knocked over the end line, and where it'll be the Cavs' first corner. Culpin, who was shaken up a minute ago, will be called upon to take the corner now. Looking at a left-footed in-swinger here. Deep back post put on net, but did not reach the keeper, and it's cleared away by Tim Filion for Northwest. It'll be a Cavalier throw-in. Flicked on Green, keeper makes a save, and he calls his defense off it. Cavs got a good one on frame. Green with the second touch header, and a nice save by Galbraith. Not a lot of power behind it. He had time to react and change, but still had to get the hands up quickly to parry it away. Good job of pouncing on the ball after that. Northwest fans down on the bleachers to our left with a big roar after that save. Podzuski will lay this one back. The Cavs will build up again from the defense. Haman looking for some targets. Good high pressure here early by Mackenzie Samuelson for Northwest. Gets a little more help now from Kim, and they're able to force the ball back to Scott Gross, and the Cavs will have to rebuild again from there. The long punt out ricochets and is controlled again by the Eagles far side. Esquivel punching forward, and a break around the corner for the Eagles. In-swinger loose on the turf, keeper off his line, and the ball shot wide. Pressure there by Gross to challenge the shooter, but Loga had a sitter at the top of the box and yanked it wide. The original cross behind Samuelson, and the Eagles quick to take the corner here. Kim on it, will float it towards the back post And a little volley there. It was still in play, but Esquivel yanked it over the line. Now the Cavalier defense last to touch it. And it'll be a corner there for Northwest. Oh, a big job by Gross. They're having to come off the line and challenge quickly. Punch to the top, headed on, but Gross there to cover. That one off the head of DJ Bettel as he sprints back to his center back position. Gross allowing the Cavaliers to head downfield. So both keepers with early saves off of headers. The Eagles continue to pressure here. They're doing a good job of ball possession. The sliding tackle there by Budzuski allows Concordia to gain possession. Nice challenge. And the Cavs will bring to Javidza on the outside. Trying to lay it back to French, but it was covered. Pulls it a second time back further. And the deep ball into the box, volleyed away, first from Dansu and then away from the feet of Culpin, who had come up on the overlap on the left-hand side. Two other men's soccer games should be just about wrapped up by now. We'll look for some finals on those and pass them along to you. One other one doesn't start till later tonight. Throwing for Northwest out here near the midfield area. Well, the clever folks at Oregon Tech already eliminated their men's game score because the Cavalier women are taking on Oregon Tech in about 20 minutes. So we can't give you a final on Oregon Tech and College of Idaho, but I believe COI did win that. They were up 2-0, so we'll assume they got that win. And Evergreen defeated Warner Pacific by a score of 2-1. As we mentioned, the Cavalier women starting in a little while. We'll keep you posted on that one. That game will most likely not be final by the time we're done here. But we'll get you some updates as Grant Landy goes for his 300th career victory today as the head coach of the Cavalier women's program. Loga, a bit of a high foot there, but no call. It comes to Dansu, punches through to Javid, so the return pass, and just a bit long for Dansu there. Hunter Maddock at the right back. Ahead for Samuelson. A strong ball to Furtado, and the Cavs will get possession here through Javidza. Tries to step through two defenders and then chops down Tim Filion. It'll be a free kick for Northwest. Galbraith sending downfield. Budzuski first to it for the Cavs. Some room here for Culpin with a man on his back. Punches that further along. And it'll be a throw in to Northwest down in the corner. Scramble along the sideline, so Mon getting a touch, and then Quinn Sincer able to send it back to the Cavalier defense. Carmichael and Green. Budzuski, kind of more of a left back right now with Culpin further up the field. Dansu trying to turn and couldn't keep control of the ball. Northwest will get it and settle it. Do-hee Kim to the outside. Maddock further along, intercepted there by Culpin. Tries a quick release here for Dansu. Pulled a bit wide, but he gets a touch. Volleyed shot, saved by the keeper. Northwest wanted a handball called, but the ball actually came to Septi rather than him reaching out and knocking it down. But a good save by Galbraith. And the Eagles trying to advance here. Challenged by Budzuski, allowing Concordia to win the ball on the deflection. Candela looking for Javidza, but it's popped up again by the defense. Headed away by Bettel. I don't know how you do a back header like that with that big clump of hair on the back of your head. Toward midfield and no one there in blue, and an easy interception here for Culpin. Tries to send further along but slipped just a touch. Cavs had a chance at possession and then a grab there by Tanner French. He overran the ball and then promptly reached out and grabbed the Northwest defender instead. Generally a strategy that does not work particularly well. Sent further on by the Eagles. Scramble for it here and coming to Furtado. A left footer touched by Gross wide. Boy, Samuelson got a piece of it. It fell to the feet of Furtado, and Gross had to come up big again. You can see why the previous game talked about some deflections and things. The Eagles do tend to cause and create those. Cavs have the short corner well defended this time. Punched by Gross. Still in play. It'll be settled down there by Samuelson. Tried to bring it back out top and instead punches it out of play as he tried to clear back to Maddock. Budzinski asking if he's got the right spot for the throw, and we'll restart from there. 18th minute of play. Each team has had opportunities and pretty good challenges. Battle for the ball here, and a foul will be called on for Furtado, and it's Culpin down again for the second time. Might need a second or two to get his win back here. Green to take the restart. Keeps motioning for Candela to come over closer to him, but decides to go into the box instead. Punched by Galbraith, loose at the top, but it drops to the feet of Loga momentarily. Cavs will get it back. Budzinski, nice play with the outside right. Unfortunately, nobody there in a white jersey. And Green will pull it back instead and rebuild. Green looking a good diagonal run that time by Javidza, but the ball not reaching him. Furtado will punch further along here for Northwest. Green, good center link up that time. The layoff by Sincer a bit soft, and Northwest able to intercept. Cavs get to that pass, and a strong play by Carmichael at a needed moment. Kim juggling, finds Loga again. Chip to an open man on the back post. Covered there by Candela as he pokes it away. Esquivel trying to make a run around the back corner. Loga, a little 1-2 on the throw-in. And originally, Sincer thought it had gone into touch. Didn't give up on it and got possession. However, his boot a little bit long. Pressure on the keeper by Javidza. Man, did he close fast, and he's almost to this one, too. It's going to be a goal kick. That looked like it would be an easy play at first for the keeper, and Javidza nearly turned it into a goal. Got the deflection, and had that ball been a little bit softer, he would have won the race to it and had a tap into an empty net. Cavaliers get a couple potential substitutes up on the far side. First activity from either bench in the game. Eagles again, patient really with some good close control here when they're pressured. Furtado released down the sideline. Gets by Culpin and is able to find Kim on the sideline, but the ball into touch. Carmichael causing Gross to kind of stop and change directions momentarily. Culpin the flick on, comes back to Hunter Maddock. Furtado, a nice job to keep it in play. No, the flag came up late, and it is a throw-in. Broke the sideline. Haman will now give it to Bodzuski. They thought about the quick throw, but Samuelson was sneaking in behind the Cavalier defense. They'll make him run and chase as Green punches it on. Carmichael looking to probe and find somebody. The flick on from Dansu to Javidza, just a bit wide that time. Good idea. Dansu with defender leaning all over his back. Green climbing, no whistle. Cavs advance a couple times. Northwest now with a player up warming up, so they'll look to counter what the Cavs might be up to. Neither team rushing a sub in at this moment. Green, a nice tackle there to take it away from Samuelson, who stayed down for a minute. Green gets chopped at, but they'll play on. And the ball poked away from Javidza. He'll outrun everybody to it. Nearly gets his head taken off there with that forearm. Rather weird piece of defending there. Towards the back post, volleyed away by Brendan Wheeler. Comes to Bodzuski. And a whistle down the left side. The ball will go to Northwest as something happened down in the corner. Haman nearly running over French there. The two of them didn't communicate very well. Northwest gets it back as a result. And Loga able to pick out Furtado right side. His volley way too strong and way too far out in front of Samuelson. And Gross able to collect that. Flicked wide by Tim Filion, and it'll go into touch there for a Cavalier throw-in. Midway through the first half, each team with opportunities, each goaltender up to the challenges. Long throw. Javidza unable to get ahead to it, but Haman will bring it down. Picks out French, the return. Back for French again, trying to enter the box there. Filion trying to shield it for the moment, then makes a nice turn on the ball. Really a good play. A lot of people would have just conceded the corner right there, and Filion with patience and poise under pressure. Intercepted by the Cavs. Candela getting to it, and then a foul is that Haman on the far side? Yeah, got whacked for his trouble. Dansu coming out to take this free kick from distance. Cavs with only 3 up in the box so far, so they'll need to get some more players up forward. Dan Berkey has his first sub ready to go. And Dansu now goes into the box instead, so the Cavs will put their leading scorer into the attack area. Deep ball, but too deep, and right to the hands of Joe Galbraith. Little release here down the sideline for Furtado, and a crunching tackle by Quinn Sincer, and the ball stays in play. Volley a couple times, and Bodzuski will hammer it further along for the Cavs. Sincer with a head of speed, a head of steam rather, and man, solid tackle there. Bodzuski will roll it back for Gross. Juggle on the sideline for both teams. Cavs get it. Javidza poking it deeper into the box and not able to get to it. Loga A little flick on by Kim, and around the backside, a man comes. Cavs got a little casual there. Candela taking it for granted, and all of a sudden had Samuelson sneaking up on him, but able to get it away. Again, more anxious moments than the Cavalier defense is used to having, especially in the first half of a game. Esquivel, who has had to come a lot deeper to get touches now. Good step in and interception by French. Esquivel back to challenge him. It'll be a Cavalier throw-in, and the Cavs will make their first two substitutions of the game. Michael Chamberlain will come into the lineup, and he'll replace Javidza. So the Cavs will lose a little bit of speed up in that front line attack. And Radcliffe McDougald will check in and replace Garrett Haman. Candela winning that one, but only to the Eagle midfield. Samuelson not able to keep the ball, though. A little challenge there as Galbraith comes off his line. He'll take his time, let the team head back down the field. Spinning ball headed on by Sincer. Copeland with a little time here will settle. He's looking for someone to come back and provide support. And a whistle and a foul for the late tackle after the ball was away on Furtado, who kind of manhandled Copeland a little bit. And once again, been slow to get up. He's been worked over a few times here in the first half. McDougald, right hand bandaged. Will take the free. Loga heading that away. Time for Sincer. Maybe let it take one extra bounce than needed, but still controls. French towards the middle of the net. Keeper backpedaling well, and Galbraith floats back to take that towards the back post. Samuelson unable to control, but it drops to the feet of Furtado. He'll get it out wide for Kim, who's really ranged all over the field. Make that Esquivel there that time. Kim at the top of the box. Loga getting this clearing ball. Finds Esquivel again. Tried a little 1-2, but it was a little late and a little awkward, and the Cavs able to intercept. Since they're up ahead to Chamberlain, and he'll drop and leave it. Room here again. Now finally French realizes that and has room on the run. Brings it to the outside. Low driven cross off the Northwest defense, and it'll be a corner for the Cavs. Copeland slowly walking over to the corner. Northwest with 2 or 3 potential subs up, doing some sprints. So we'll see if Coach Gary McIntosh will make any changes or not. Copeland to the back post, headed on, but wide there as it dropped right to the head of Carmichael. Galbraith really leaving that back post unguarded, did not backpedal particularly well to get to it that time, and it was an open look for Carmichael, but he pulled it wide. High pressure here from the Cavs. Nicely stepped around by Brendan Wheeler, but his outlet pass is intercepted. To the middle for Dansu. Chamberlain. Dansu nearly stepped around that one as it spun funny, but Gamache able to knock it through the sideline for a throw-in. Throwing on a bounce to Galbraith that time. That's a tough one for a keeper. Do you sit and wait, or do you go out after the first ball? If it's flicked over you, you look silly for going out. If you sit and wait, it can beat you as well. Again, patient build-up by the Cavaliers here. Budzinski will pull it back to Green once again. Carmichael ahead. A little one-touch not particularly handled well by French, but he gets rescued there on the tackle by Candela, and the Cavs will try to build it up again. Chamberlain looking to pull long left, and it's way too far for Culpin. As we go by the half-hour mark in this scoreless game. Little challenges on both sides there. It finally falls to Loga. Poked away there by Green. Right-hand side now for Furtado. He gets hit by Culpin, so there's a little retaliation after it went the other way before. Good job by the officiating crew to spot that. And it'll be a free kick. Do-hee Kim to take that. Cavs with a two-man wall. Gross positions that. 6 at the back post for Northwest as they start their run. It's deflected off the wall. Spun on the attempted clearance by Culpin. It hit his hand, but again, the hand in a normal spot, the ball rising to it, so no handball called. The official silences them, the Eagles, as they continue to protest. And substitutions will now come in. Cavs will make a switch here as well, with Kevin Fisher coming in for Tanner French. We'll tell you the Northwest substitutions in a minute, but Josh Guerrero, their leading scorer, just came in. And the throw-in gets poked up and over the fence and into the yard. Filion should have to go chase that, but he won't. Guerrero in the lineup now for Northwest. Their leading scorer with 7 goals, 1 assist for 15 points. He replaces Samuelson. And we'll have to check on the second substitution here. And we believe Bo Tabaki is the other substitute, a sophomore from Bellevue. And he's in for Furtado. Originally was listed as not on the roster today, so we apologize for that delay. Fisher, Chamberlain tried a little back pass drop. It's chased down by Sensor, though. Budzinski down the sideline to the top of the box, hammered away by Wheeler. Guerrero leaving it back for Kim. Tabaki leaves it back for Maddock. Green volleying the ball away. Chamberlain Head for Dansu, 2 defenders with him. He'll bring it out wide. Fisher's there for Sincer. Under some pressure from Esquivel, but Sincer able to win it back. Candella's ball to the box. Chamberlain getting away with a little bit of a shove, but the Cavs can't get possession. Culpin able to track it down now and finds Budzinski. To Chamberlain at the 18, trying to make a volley turn and was unsuccessful. He'll pop it back. Chamberlain can't get a turn on it. Man knocked down in the box. Both sides calling. Dansu claiming he was shoved. Northwest trying to claim there was a handball in there somewhere too. And the referee says everybody just keep playing. "37th minute of play. Esquivel nearly getting released there by Guerrero. Flag stayed down. Chamberlain's little flick on, a whistle and a foul as Dansu drew some contact. Little delay here as the Cavs get players forward for a free kick that could drop well into the box. Line driver instead, flicked to the back. Green trying to shield off there, got the ball, and his attempted shot deflects and dribbles. And again, we got players with hands up everywhere. Starting to look more like a bad folk dancing club than a soccer game. There's so many hands flying up in the air. Deflection and a cover here. Esquivel to Guerrero. And the ball nicely taken away from him on the challenge by Green. Quick advance ahead to Chamberlain. He looks to get to Dansu and is unsuccessful. Cavs in limited numbers there with just the 2 forward. Outside ball for Guerrero, and it's intercepted there by Candela. Punched back to the keeper. Long ball will come to Chamberlain on a hop. He'll nod it back. McDougald bobbling it momentarily, but will get it back again from Budzinski. Room to run here, but instead sitting on the ball. Now realizes he's got some chance to advance. And that ball just wide of Dansu, but it'll fall to Chamberlain. Chip towards Dansu, but again he's double marked. Chamberlain trying to win this battle under some pressure. Sincer leaving it back again for McDougald. He'll knock it to the outside, where Budzinski had to sprint again to get to it after being a little flat-footed there. Green will pull it back around. Cavaliers continue to probe now on the right side. And switch fields yet again. Budzinski to McDougald. Just enough pressure there from Loga now that he's not going to make the full run, but he's able to turn and face still. Chips this one outside. Culpin into the box, and it's knocked away by Filion. Battle for it here, and a big shove by Sincer, and then he whiffs on the big ball. Challenged by Tabaki. Out to Loga. He'll punch it outside now, but behind Esquivel, and it'll be a Cavalier throw-in. Well, they're permitting a lot of contact so far today. We'll leave it at that. Chamberlain trying to get the turn, does so here, but his crossing ball intercepted. Volley onto the feet of Guerrero here. He'll try to advance it for Kim. And Kim able to keep it. Looks to release Esquivel down the sideline. One man falling down in the challenge, but the Cavs on the ball. And Carmichael able to ride it out of there. He gets bumped from behind. They'll play it advantage on. And the Cavs get a break there as the clearing ball just gets around Northwest. Further ahead to Culpin. Ben one-on-one here. Makes the nice run on Maddock. Crossing ball to the back post, knocked away there on a play by DJ Bettel. It'll be a throw into the Cavaliers. McDougald, if he can beat the one defender, has an acre and a half to run there. Cavs with it at right point now. Candela the long ball trying to pick out Chamberlain. Keeper reads that and comes up high as well and makes the save. Chamberlain a little bit better target on those chip balls in the air than Javica, just in terms of height, and a nice job by Galbraith to read that, see it, and come out early. Inside of 5 to play in the first half. On a beautiful day where perhaps one play could decide it. McDougald looks far. And that one will be a throw in for the Eagles as Gamache is able to screen it away from Fisher. Not a situation really where the Northwest defense has been all that impressive and solid. The Cavs have been marked at least closely enough, and they just have not made the good linking runs like they did last time in the College of Idaho game. Just not able to find one another as easily, and credit, again, as we said, has to at least go to Northwest for being in some position for that. Throw in given to the Eagles down the sideline. Colpin just gets walloped to the ground. They're going to stop and issue a card here. There were 4 cards between the two teams the first time that they played. And the card will be given here to Tim Filion in the 42nd minute. Copeland might ask for a few bags of ice here at halftime. McDougald set to take the free kick. Cavs all lined up in a row on the back post. He'll punch it to the top of the 18, and it's headed clear there. Drops to Maddock. And they throw in for Concordia. Pressure on McDougald. Punches it back to Budzuski, and the Cavs will settle, look to find runners again. Colpin off the head of a defender as it volleyed off of Maddock, but right to Galbraith again. Galbraith will have to deal with the sun in the second half. Good read there by Carmichael to step up and intercept the clearance pass, and a whistle and hands-on again by Chamberlain, who is wont to do that more than most of his teammates. Esquivel. Gamache trying to release a runner down the left side. Good control there by Guerrero to maintain possession, but his cross is ricocheted away. Chamberlain coming back. Bad pass there, and it drops to Northwest, and a chance for Esquivel here as he tries to get around the corner. Gross able to field the cross. But Esquivel a couple times has been able to outrun the Cavalier right flank. Great punt this time by Gross, 3/4 of the field. Chamberlain getting a nice shove in the back that time from Bettle, no whistle. And off the head of Candela, it'll be a throw into Northwest. Looking for Tabaki on the far side. His ball will roll all the way back to the defense, but Wheeler is there for the Eagles. To Tabaki again. Filion. Maddock tackled nicely by Budzuski. Looks to get to Chamberlain. Cavs again with not a lot of numbers up front. Final 60 seconds of the first half. And the ball over the head of everyone from Budzuski. It'll go to Galbraith on a couple of hops. Poked away by Budzuski. Culpin for McDougald. Fisher with some room. Esquivel coming back to mark again there. Cavs being very patient, but they've got seconds to go in the half here, so we'll see if they get any kind of urgency. Tabacchi intercepting instead to Loga. For Maddock. And the Eagles apparently content, and especially now that they've lost the ball, they'll ride out the closing seconds of the half. And that will do it. Couple of headers early for each side. Couple of other challenges for both goalies. Gross able to do his job in part, as we said, having to look into the sun with some of those shooters coming in, but came off the line to stop a potential breakaway challenge at one.